With just $11, I went to Kuala Lumpur by bus when I visited Singapore. Singapore and Kuala Lumpur are over 350 kilometers apart, and it takes me around 6 hours of land travel. Like the other travelers, I took this route because of the available direct transportation options and fewer expenses. Hello there, welcome back to Tripsider. This video will again help you save up while fulfilling your dream vacation. Here's how I get from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur by bus with just spending $11. Singapore is a favorite stopover for those who seek to explore Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. How to get from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur? Want to know about traveling from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur? What is the cheapest mode of transport? What is the quickest option? How much do the tickets actually cost? Suppose you are bothered by an expensive trip. You may check out today's episode of the Singapore to Kuala Lumpur Budget Travel Guide. But before we begin, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, ring the notification bell to stay updated with some hottest news. Keep watching. With that, let's continue. I can certify this cheap bus fare myself. Of the different modes of transport available, I choose the most affordable way possible. The bus. A plane is the quickest and easiest way to travel between these two great cities, but it can cost you a lot of money if you cannot score cheaper airfare. But a car journey may be faster if you stay close to the Malaysian border in Singapore. Traveling from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur is a more convenient and inexpensive alternative to plane travel. It takes me about 5 to 6 hours by bus, and I recommend this way to travel for the following reasons. Number 1, it is always on a budget. Second, you will arrive at the Kuala Lumpur city center instead of 40 kilometers from the airport if you have a flight. 3, buses are more comfortable because of the spacious seats, and the frequency of trips provided by the number of bus operators is more convenient. The best part about this one-way cost is only $11 to $35 per ticket. With a minimum of $11, I experienced traveling on a bus with an air-conditioned and comfortable adjustable seat wide enough to take pictures and enjoy the view. My whole ride is definitely a good travel experience. The bus company even provided me and my co-passengers with meals, snacks, and drinks. The price still differs depending on the bus's facilities and comfort level. Some cheap bus companies will not choose the most efficient route to pick up more passengers. Some of them also offer TVs in the compartments and wireless internet access. They usually take about 1 hour more for the trip. Most buses depart from Golden Mile Complex in Singapore and terminate at Terminal Bersepadu Selatan in central Kuala Lumpur. This is because each long-distance company has different departure and arrival points. Many bus companies operate on a variety of schedules. The average bus between Singapore and Kuala Lumpur takes 5 hours and 16 minutes, and the fastest bus takes 5 hours and 13 minutes. Several bus services run twice daily from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur. The journey time may be longer on weekends and holidays. The bus departs Singapore at 6 p.m. in the evening, which arrives in Kuala Lumpur at 12:05 early in the morning. All services run direct with no transfers required and take an average of 5 hours and 16 minutes to ride. Various operators offer numerous and frequent trips by bus from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur to meet the high demands of passengers. The popular bus operations for buses from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur are KKKL Express, Transstar, The One Travel and Tours, Grassland Express, First Coach, Transfer Travel, Season Express, Sir Maju Group, Star Mart Express, and many more. But before I decide to cross the border overland, I make sure I am aware of the procedures for crossing the Singapore-Malaysia border, since land travel is a little different and more complicated than air travel. Our bus goes to Singapore's Tuas checkpoint for exit inspection, and then we went to the Malaysian checkpoint in Gelang Patah for an entry inspection. Once I arrived at the border, I got off the bus with my passport and visa. Don't worry about your luggage. You can leave them on the bus. I proceed through Singapore's Tuas checkpoint for the exit stamp on my passport. I got onto the bus again and crossed the bridge over the Johor Strait. And after 10 to 15 minutes, I reached the Malaysia border control area. Finally, I stepped off the bus with all my belongings this time. I passed through Malaysian customs to get your entry stamp for Malaysia. I was screened and checked before entering the country. Once in Kuala Lumpur, I rode a taxi into the city center and booked a tour. A bus tour will enable you to see the best of Kuala Lumpur while spending more time at the sites you love as you discover more about the city. Without rush hour delays, the travel is straightforward and usually expedient enough. The trip seems confusing and challenging. To ease your worries and hesitation, I have some tips to make your journey less complex. But before that, let us know your thoughts about this topic in the comment section below. Will you also choose the bus ride over the plane for a lesser cost? We've got some more news for you on my YouTube channel. And be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on my latest uploads. Here are some tips I learned from my experience. For a quick crossing, please prepare your exit card and entry card and complete them before going through Malaysian immigration. Declare whatever you bring that might cause problems, like alcohol and cigarettes. It may take you an hour to cross the border if it is not crowded. The whole procedure might be delayed, and you might have to wait hours in line if it is blocked. Upon my arrival in Kuala Lumpur, I decided to take a walk and visit some tourist attractions. Just wondering what to do after entering Malaysia. The first one I looked into is the Istana Negara, which is the national palace and the official residence of the monarch of Malaysia. It is located along Jalan Tuanku Abdul Halim, or formerly known as Jalan Duta. I was only able to witness the grandeur of the palace because visitors are only allowed at the main gate. The next spot I've been to is the National Monument, or Tugu Negara. I got to see the historic bronze sculpture that pays tribute to those who died fighting for the independence of Malaysia. Another scenic site in Kuala Lumpur is the National Mosque of Malaysia. I saved some photos of the huge mosque that is an important symbol of the Islamic country of Malaysia. However, entering the mosque is not allowed for non-Muslims. If you want to learn more about Kuala Lumpur, I suggest visiting the Kuala Lumpur City Gallery. Through miniature models and the spectacular city model show, I understand the history of the place. I also found the famous I Love KL here, which is acknowledged as one of the most photographed structures in Kuala Lumpur. It would be an excellent way to see some of Malaysia too, rather than flying. Although changing countries by bus sounds tiring, these buses are relatively stable. The highway is well maintained, making it less hassle than dealing with airports and the stress of making such a short flight. Singapore doesn't have a unified long-haul bus terminal, so companies need to be consolidated. Instead, they depart from all over the city. Prices and levels of luxury vary widely between bus companies. Tickets can be as cheap as $15 to $36. By taking a bus, I avoided the hassle of navigating two airports, security, and baggage counters for such a short journey. Locals who cross back and forth frequently for business often prefer to go by bus. You could take your own car, but you'll need to be upfront with the rental company with which you plan to cross the border. What do you think about all of this? If you've already tried a bus ride from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, I would love to know in the comments section below. Over here, a couple more videos that you might find interesting, so please check them out. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Again, this is Tripsider with additional travel hacks for you. And as always, stay safe and have a good one.